Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this T-Flex CAD training course, and the topic for today will be the graphical lines. Following what we spoke in our last lesson, if you remember construction lines, we mentioned at the time that construction lines were the base for graphic lines when we consider to work in parameterization mode. So today we will see a couple of topics about these graphical lines. And these lines are the base of the graphic elements that constitute the drawing, again, when we are working in parametric mode. The analogy we can make for these graphic lines when we compare with the old paper drawings is that these graphic lines correspond to the lines drawn in ink. And when we mention lines, we mean straight lines or curved entities. So both, not only lines on its name, pure name. Again, we are under the draw menu. We have, as we saw, construction lines. We can do a couple of things, okay? And when we draw graphic lines, we can do something like going to this command here, and we can draw on top of construction lines. So if we do something like this, okay, and now if I change my construction lines, my graphical ones which are on top of these constructions will change also. This is the constraint mode, the parametric mode, but we can work also in one other mode that is called the sketch mode or the non-parametric mode. And we have some functions in here under this group called sketch, where we can draw, for example, lines free in my screen. So I don't have any base has construction lines, so I can change my nodes and consequently the lines that are connected to this node. But this is not parametric as on the previous one. Besides, when we drew the graphic lines, we can see that graphic lines, as all the other commands, have also parameters. So we can change all of these parameters, so the styles, the thickness, starting arrows and ending arrows for a line, and the sizes of these arrows, also colors, levels, priorities, you know all of these things already. And we have also the possibility to create some advanced parameters, like for example doing a double line where we can define a width. And now if we draw something like this, you see we can do a kind of a multi-line, so it's also interesting as an option. We can also make the addition of the graphical lines, parametric or non-parametric. So for that purpose we just want, or we just need to click in one of the lines, and then we can change the parameters. For example, the easiest one, change the color, and it is changed. Okay, very easy. We can call also sorry, we can call also this edition doing EG, and the EG will edit also the line. Okay, it's the same command to make the edition. The idea when we work with this parametric mode to create graphical lines, we can work in many different ways. But we can do something like this. So going in through the nodes, Oh, again, sorry, it's still in double, so solid. Changing this, okay, okay. Going through the nodes, I can work in this in many ways, and I have a lot of shortcuts also to grab certain entities, but I can go intersection by intersection. Now if I, for example, I can click on top of my curved entity and it is highlighted, so it will follow until the next intersection. Then I can go out again and I can do something like this. Okay, so this is very easy. Besides the fact we have a lot of shortcuts that you may see in our theoretical side to learn the options, but again we can do almost everything graphically by the points in my screen. But I have the functions here to select the construction circles, the lines, the splines, or ellipses. So it's quite easy to work with this. Okay, I can do something like this, and for example, revert the circle and do the opposite. So I have a lot of functionalities connected to this creation of graphical lines. Besides this, I have, as I said, the possibility to work on a different mode called the sketch mode, which creates a non-parametric drawing. And I have all of these functions. This is a little about making a little explanation. It's the way that other similar CAD systems work, so we can work like them. We have the normal functionalities. Okay, you can see all of these standard functionalities to create CAD entities. We can speed up a lot the process and simplify it, working directly without the concern to have construction entities below. And in certain cases, this development of the drawings is much faster and can bring certain benefits, especially if you don't expect big modifications in your drawing. Then maybe it's not needed to have the parametric mode on. Okay. So with this area here, the sketch, I can work in also two different ways: a free mode and a automatic parameterization mode, which tells the system that it will be T-flex to choose the parameterization. And the first idea is that the system sometimes may not create the correct parameterization, or at least the parameterization the user was expecting to have. How to work with this? It's quite easy. For example, lines. The difference, I have a lot of functions here to work with different options, okay, like any other CAD system. So we have all the standard options, okay. I think they are very easy, very direct, so it's no need to go in all of them. The important thing here is that when you invoke a function here, you have this icon, which it is called to turn on the automatic parametric mode or not. Okay, different from the one we have here. If it is not selected, then when we make a line, you see a line, this is the free mode. Okay, I can create the same line, but if I turn this on, it's a little different, because now you can see that I have some construction lines that the system added to my endpoints of my line. And this is a parametric thing because, okay, it's connected, or it's parametric regarding something. It may not be what we want, but has that parametric done. Okay, this is completely free. Another probably more visible way where we can see this, for example, creating a polygon. I can create my polygon. This is free mode. And now if I turn this on, you see that I have the same polygon and that it is changed, and this one, if I go, ruins my polygon. So these are two different modes: sketch mode, which is a free mode, and automatic parametric mode, which creates a parameterization done and thought by T-Flex. In terms of functions, we have a lot of things here for the sketch. So here we create lines, very easy, okay? Polygons, also very easy. Rectangles, or a polygon with more sides, and a rectangle by center and a corner point. So arcs, and especially arcs. Circles, ellipses and spline, not very interesting. Axis lines for the graphical entities. So if I create a circle, if I create a circle, now I can create axis for this guy here. Fillets, chamfers, a trim. Trim, basically, I've been using this in the lessons we've been creating. So with a trim, just click on the portion that you want to take out. Very easy to work with. The extend. So I can extend a graphic line until some other entity. Divide and parts will put nodes. So split point, it can be, for example, here, and somewhere here, and here. And finally, the offset, which is quite convenient also, because it can create offsets to one entity or to a group of entities. So it's quite convenient. I did not show you, but we have the possibility, if we choose this, to give a distance, okay, outside or inside, and it's quite easy also to understand. So make a resume out of this. So we have graphical lines, which are the base to use in our drawing, and this is the system which we use either for working directly in 2D or even for creating the sketches as base for the 3D. So the standard mode, creating graphical lines on top of construction lines, this is what we call the parametric mode, okay, the graphical lines by excellence. And then we have, in terms of sketch, we have one free mode, which allow us to create entities with free nodes. And even in this sketch mode, we have parametric mode, where we have the parameterization done by the system. So any examples, any help you may need, you know how to reach us. So send us your comments or questions. We'll be around here to explain you what you need.